More than 1,500 layoff notices were sent to schools throughout San Diego's largest school district. But one school, an elementary school in southeast San Diego, will be hit especially hard. Fay Elementary learned 27 out of 29 of its teachers will be laid off. Joining me is the principal of Fay Elementary, Eileen Moreno. Thanks for being here, Eileen.
Thank you.
How is this even possible? You need teachers in order to have a school. So how did 27 teachers get layoff notices?
Well, what happens is layoffs go by seniority, and I have about 17 teachers who have 8-9 years of seniority, and we keep thinking every year it's this time we're safe.
Right, you think that's enough, right?
Every year for the past 5 years we've thought we were safe, but apparently not. And the reason is this core group of teachers, they started their career together 8, 9, and 10 years ago at our school. And the remaining teachers, they range anywhere from first-year teachers to 6 and 7 years as well. But this time the layoffs went as far back as, all the way back to 10 years.
So they're the first to go, but it doesn't necessarily mean they are going. Now I want to put up some numbers just to show the people at home what I mean by that. Last year in 2011, pink slips went out, these layoff notices, to more than 1,300 teachers. Final layoff notices, about half, 743. But then the school goes and rehires them back, 466, and then as late as October, we're already in the school year, they hire more back. Same thing's happening this year. We look at 2012, pink slips, 1,600. Now here's where the number gets really interesting. Final layoff notices, 1,500, so even more layoff notices, which really speaks to your school because now we're going back to 8 or 9 years experience.
Correct.
So didn't this happen to you last year?
It did. In fact, it's happened for the last 5 years. So my teachers get the initial layoff notice in March. However, last year they were rescinded fairly quickly for a vast majority of them. And then over the months, over the summer, they were rescinding a little bit more at a time, and where I ended up being able to bring back that big core group of teachers. And I started with some new teachers kind of at the last minute. This is the first time, however, that we get to the point where they receive their final layoff letter. This has never happened before.
So in theory, you will have all new teachers, almost all new teachers, starting the school year.
In theory, yes.
When will you know?
That's a very good question. I can tell you that next Monday, the district is supposed to put up what's called the post-in bid, which is where they post all available positions and allowing teachers who are not laid off to then bid for any positions that they want. So that's supposed to happen next Monday, and I believe it closes down on the 20th of June. After that, for about a week, Human Resources sifts through all the bids to make sure qualified people did bid. And then about a week later, they hand us the names, and we get to start interviewing.
So fundamentally, what's wrong? What's wrong with the system that creates this very elaborate game of musical chairs with teachers in terms of whether they're going to be at your school, another school, or even be at a school at all?
I think that the blame game can just go around in circles. But fundamentally, I think that we have a problem with equity. I firmly believe that for all the talk about equity, not at the local level, at the state level, at the national level, when we see these things happening at schools such as Fay and City Heights, and actually if you look through the whole list and you were to look at the types of schools that were most impacted this way, there's a pattern that jumps out at you. They're the low poverty schools, and there's no equity. I think that's the fundamental problem, is that there's too much talk about equity and not enough action, because this is something that can be fixed.
But it's happening in low-income schools, low-income neighborhoods.
That's where the majority, I'm not saying it's not happening in others, but the majority of it, when you look down the list, is in the low-income schools, because it is more challenging to work in some of our low-income schools. And so a lot of teachers understandably get to a point where they prefer to move on to something different. And that's how we end up with a lot of the so-called newer teachers.
Right. In the end, Eileen, what does this mean for the kids who go to that school?
in the end, this means that they are going to potentially lose out. Now, when I say that, I mean, I have a job to do, and I'm going to do it no matter what. I have a plan in place. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm prepared for the worst. There will be teachers. It's not like Fay Elementary will have no teachers. The question is, will it be all new teachers and children who've been seeing the same teachers that their families have built relationships over the years? Are they going to walk in and none of those smiling faces are going to be there for them? And how is that going to make the children feel?
Eileen Moreno, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.